All right, we have a special here today, 10 Ton Hammer. We are at Illfonic Studios in Denver, Colorado. I'm here interviewing
Michael Scala.
Yes, and he is the graphic web developer for Illfonic, and you worked on the Revival website, correct? So can you tell us a little bit about kind of what you were told as far as like what we need for the website and how you went about starting to create those elements?
Well, initially I got a lot of feedback from Kedron, the creative director, and Chuck as well, in terms of what they were looking for, like the overall concept, and as far as like the execution. I also talked to Chris and Adam Maxwell, the lead designers of the project. So I guess as far as what the actual website contains is that Kedron originally stated that he wanted a website that was fully functional and that could serve a purpose of being the first thing that players saw when they went onto the Revival website. Before the store went online and before some additional content went online, he wanted the first thing that people saw, just like a punch in the face as far as this is the overall scope and this is what we're trying to accomplish with Revival. So it's, when you log in for the first time, obviously it's pretty graphic. I mean, it's a very adult, M-rated game, which I'm absolutely for. With a lot of the 3D artists that we had, I got to borrow some assets from them. So the sculpture on the login page, that was made by Tyler, one of the 3D artists here. And then there's various other assets that I borrowed from them as well. But basically, he wanted something gothic, Art Deco, very mature, but something very classy as well. So we looked at reference from, I don't know, let's see, like Underworld. I looked at stuff from H.P. Lovecraft, and just general dark fantasy to set the overall tone. And then once he added the music on top of everything else, it kind of gave the entire feeling that you're now stepping inside of a world.
Yeah, the music adding on there was awesome. It really takes those visual parts and kind of sinks them in. As the artist working on it, how did you kind of put some of your own thought and design into it when you were creating elements?
Well, I never made a website for an MMO before, so that was totally new to me. As far as the creative aspect of it, I mean, I love Diablo. I love anything gothic and anything dark fantasy related. So I had experience making graphics for a dark fantasy project before. So I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to have some experience with that. But a lot of ornate detail, a lot of like kind of gaudy, over-the-top ornate detail into stuff to the point where it's you're almost taken back, where it's too much. But I think in terms of like the creative aspect of it, I was really just given free rein. I made a few different concepts for Kedron initially, and he kind of guided me and directed me towards his vision of what he envisioned, and I kind of nailed it with what he wanted. And then I got to work with Corey, who was the web programmer on the entire project, and his expertise with hooking up those graphics and making what I envisioned come to life really allowed me to do what I wanted to do, which was great. And as long as it's easy to function, easy for the user to navigate around, and it's pretty, then I did my job.
Yeah, I feel like it's all those things so far from experiencing it on the user end. You also said that you are working on UI. We haven't really got to see any UI yet. Obviously, it's still far out ahead before we get to that point. But can you talk about what your mentality is with creating UI when it comes to Revival?
Yeah. So I guess, there isn't a whole lot of UI yet. Everything's pretty much focused around the website, and I guess really the only UI stuff that's on the site would be the store. And even that's not so UI heavy. It's just really directing the player from point A when you purchase a house to the end of it when you actually finalize the purchase. So with that stuff, like I can talk on that more than game-related stuff, since the housing store, since that's the main focus of it, and we're working on stuff currently to support people to move about their house. But I guess with the store, it was really just like a map. That's basically your main functionality with that. We looked at Zillow, we looked at Autotrader.com, and we looked at a few other real-world examples of, especially Amazon, with their. And there's still a couple more things we'd like to do with the site as far as like functionality is concerned. But as far as like that stuff, Amazon and Zillow, they make it really easy for the user. And if you've never gone on Amazon before, it's very simple to understand from point A to point B. And we try to replicate that in some degree with thinking about if a person has never played an MMO, if they've never gone on Zillow, would this be an easy solution for them? And I think it is. There's not really too many like roadblocks for a person to click on a house and to ultimately purchase one. So that's great. We did a couple weeks of testing for that, just to make sure that if you don't know what you're doing with Zillow and you don't know what you're doing with our website, is it clear for the person to navigate our website?
Awesome. Yeah. Also on the website for the store, you guys have that housing upgrade system, and all the different components of that. Is what we're seeing right now kind of all of that so far? Do you guys have more planned to add for like some visual art for the upgrades and stuff like that?
Yeah. So there's a good amount of stuff still left on the plate as far as that's concerned. There's still some elements for additions that you can purchase for your house. There's still other properties that we haven't released yet, which are going to have additional rooms to upgrade. And when those things do come online, I don't know if we're necessarily going to have to design stuff around that, but I'm fairly certain that what we have already can be used for that. Now, there's going to be additional stuff that you can purchase or that you can add into your house, different
prop kits,
different renovation kits, things that'll make it feel more alive. Now, once you hop into the editor, the usability and the functionality that you have on the website should ultimately carry on into the game, just to make people feel like it's one cohesive experience. Now, seeing how we're releasing things in stages, it's going to make I think it's going to make everyone's job a little bit easier, just because we can see what is easy for people, what might be a little difficult, and we can take on feedback from people in the forums or the IRC chat. So I think designing around what people would like to see and what people might have trouble with is going to make the experience much more unified and cohesive, going from the website onto a launcher type thing, and to see the changes that you made from the website carry on into the actual game.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sitting down and for you guys inviting me out here and letting me kind of see what all you guys are working on.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to getting as much publicity out there as we can, and from a great source like you. It's, the community's been fantastic thus far, and it's just nice to know that what we've made is being appreciated, and there's just a ton of more stuff on the plate. It's great.
Yeah, I think Kedron was saying you guys have kind of the mentality of, if we build it, they will come, and I think you guys, it's kind of living out. I see it, you guys are building everything, fleshing it out, and it's quality and it's really sound, and as it comes out, I know the community that I'm with digs it, and we're looking forward to more and can't wait to see what you guys come up with next.
Yeah, it's absolutely, the quality with the architecture that they're making it's astounding, really. I've never really been around a development team that has this much attention to detail, so it's nice.
Yeah, very cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.